All right, second quarter of action. We're joined with an in-booth guest here at courtside, Coach Cabell of Scott High School. You got a big one tonight against Tulsa. Congratulations on your win last night, 99 points. Where'd that come from?
Well, we just moved the ball well. Took our open shots when we had them. We ran through our offenses, but it seemed like we got quick looks. So we took those as early as we could and knocked them down. I think our guard, Matt Dolan, went about 4 of 6 and 3. He only missed 2, I think. So we just shot the ball well, and this is a court they've played on their whole life, and I think they feel comfortable here.
Well, they definitely sound like they shot like they were comfortable last night. As we got back here under action, the Pirates, Gary Runyon over to Nick Turner. He's going to go into the baseline. He's going to be fouled from behind by Gatos. That's about the first mistake he's made on the defensive end here today. Didn't see this one coming here, did you? Winfield jumped out early and big.
No, I think it's like what you said, talking to Belfry's coach. They made the state championship in football, and they haven't had many practices, and I think that's showing now. They're usually a better team than this, or showing better than this. But Winfield's got a good program. They get up and down the floor well, play good defense. I like what I see out of them. I didn't expect this, like you said, and Winfield might make a run for it this year.
They definitely got some talent. They're doing all this without their starting point guard, Cameron Powell, who's on the bench getting patched up right now. As Turner connects on the second of 2 free throws there, getting them 30-3. And Winfield throws it away. Well, save. Nice save effort there by Belfry. Josh Robinson coming up with the loose ball. And, well, Winfield's hands just all over on the defensive end of the floor right here. As now we have a missed shot. Robinson coming up with another rebound. Blows the dribble, gives it back out to Nick Turner. Well, this is your first go-around with the Coalfield shootout organizing it. I'm sure it's going to be a nice release to get all this over with, but it's an exciting weekend for Scott basketball and getting all these teams to come into Madison, here down in Coal Country to shoot out. So what's your first year on it if Messer makes that one?
This was a very, very big learning experience for me. I think it would have been a little bit easier going in if I had organized it from the beginning and, know everything that was promised and going on. But when I jumped in the middle of it, it was a little tough, but we figured it all out. I talked with Coach Kingery quite a bit because he was the one that organized it. And now that it's here, it's going great. Everything's smooth, good ball games, good competition, and good atmosphere.
Well, now, this is the annual. Now, this is something that Kingery started, so is the tradition going to live on after this year?
Absolutely. This was something that we talked about on the bus ride, and it was actually my idea, and now I'm kicking myself for it after this year. But, yeah, I'm definitely going to keep it going. I guess you can go ahead and write it down now, but next year it'll be the weekend after this. And I spoke with Coach Kingery, and he will be here with his team next year. And we'll try to get him a game against Logan the night before on the Friday, and then actually playing our shootout on Saturday.
You're not going to take on the old former mentor?
No. We talked about it, and we're going to put him up against maybe Tulsa if they'll come back, or somebody like that.
As a connected 3 there by Brandon Wright. 33-9 is your score. Belfry coming out a little more fire this quarter as they came out on a 7-0 run right there before that 3. Nick Turner stops up in the paint, no good. And it's going to be tipped back out to Gary Runyon, who's playing a little safety right there for the Pirates. Well, do you think Tulsa's supposed to be, a lot of people have them projected as one of the top teams in the state this year. Are you excited to play against a team like Tulsa right off the bat to kind of just put your boys in check to see where they're standing at and where you guys are at right now?
Yeah, I can't wait. We scrimmaged Westside, who's supposed to be a top 10 team. Mingo Central, who I feel is as good as just about anybody in AA. And now we get Tulsa, who's also supposed to be a real good team. I think this is a great test for us, especially for our younger guys. We've got, 3 upperclassmen and seniors and juniors, and the rest are all sophomores, freshmen. So they get to see what varsity basketball is all about, especially against the top programs. And that's the only way you're going to get better. And I think it'll definitely make us better and get us ready come sectional time when we possibly could face Tulsa again.
What's your expectations for your team this year? I know we've asked you kind of this in the season preview. For those folks that didn't get to watch that, What do you expect now of your Skyhawks this year after such a successful season last year?
We made the tournament last year, got second in the state, and I don't see why with our guard play and our experience that we can't get back to the state tournament. We're not as deep or as big as we were last year, but we're a totally different type team. We've got our guards stepping up this year, where last year they were kind of on the, they were behind the two twin towers. I think we'll go as far as our big men will take us, but with the progress they've already made in this season, just so far since the beginning of the year, I think they'll keep getting better and better, and come sectional time, I really think we're going to surprise some people.
Well, I tell you what, you guys got one tough region. You got teams like Tug Valley, their final year in AA, going down to single A, but they brought in they lost Brewer, but they also brought in, they got Mason Pack back now, they got 6'6" Chucky White, then you got Tulsa, you got Polka, you got Chapmanville. I mean, a lot of people would say you're almost like the group of death, almost, a state caliber team's not going to make it, and that's what's hard about your guys' schedule.
It is. I mean, you look at them, and Tug Valley, they're going to be tough this year. They could really make a good run for the state title if they keep everything clicking like they have been. They've got two of the better guards in the state, in my opinion. They're both juniors, and Newsom and Brewer. Vance is the one they lost last year.
Yeah, Vance, that's right.
And then they got Pack, who's huge, and then they brought in some other guys, which I don't know where they came from, but they weren't on the team last year, and then they get up here and they've got 6 kids that can dunk, and, they all can dribble, so they're going to be real good, and Chatville's always competitive. I mean, they're well coached. Terry Kirk down there does a great job, and it's going to be interesting. And then you throw Mingo Central in the mix, and Tulsa and Wayne and us, and that's just our section. That's going to be brutal. If we can get out of there, I think that's where we'll see the bulk of the competition, and then we'll move on to the Sissonvilles, Polkas, and Hubbard Hoovers.
Well, how do you think your team's, grown so far here through your scrimmages and everything like that before? Last night was your season opener. The results look good last night, but how do you feel as the actual coach of the team?
Against West Side in the scrimmage, I thought we played extremely well. We did just about everything right that you needed to do. Then we went to Mingo Central for the scrimmage, and I was not too pleased with that. We didn't come out with any intensity or any fire. We didn't do the right things it took to win. And then last night, we got the win, but we did not rebound the ball well at all. We didn't box out. We didn't do our assignments. And our help side wasn't always there. And that's got to be there for a team that's as young and inexperienced as we are. We've got to do those little things that it takes to win, or we're not going to win many ball games. We pulled it out last night, but if we don't do that tonight, Tulsa will they'll murder us.
Well, we hope it ain't going to be nothing like that. We're hoping for a good old-fashioned brawl, I guess, down here, Coal Country brawl. I mean, you guys as Cardinal Conference, you guys had 3 teams get into the state tournament last year, so how important is it for you guys that being in the Cardinal Conference as getting developed and getting good, steady competition throughout the year? Like, how does that work out for you guys?
I think it's a huge advantage being in that conference. You play Polka twice, you play Sissonville twice, you play Point Pleasant twice, you play Chapmanville twice, Tulsa this year twice. I mean, you're not going to see any better competition in state and AA on a consistent basis year in and year out. When you get used to playing those teams, all of a sudden, you can start beating those teams, and then now you're competing for a state championship. And that's kind of how we fell into it. A few years back, we weren't as competitive, and then we started playing in the conference. You start beating on the teams here and there, and then before you know it, you're beating them twice a year, and then you're in a state tournament, and then you're in the state championship. So I just think playing better teams is going to make you better all around.
Well, how excited are you, Coach, to have your first head coaching opportunity at your alma mater?
Oh, it's wonderful. I've always been a huge Skyhawk. Ever since I played at Scott, you bleed black and gold, and we always say it and we talk about it, but, it's true. And I've wanted to get this job just so that I can put into it what I want to, which is everything, and that people from Scott can come back and watch and take pride in the program like I have and like the boys do. They really believe in everything we tell them, and they believe that black and gold. That's what makes it successful, is whenever they believe in what you're saying and what you're doing. And last night they showed it with how hard they played on defense from start to finish.
So do you feel that that you have their respect as the new coach, because it's hard to lose a coach like Kingery and take over a lot of his boys and have that same camaraderie that they had for him, because that was a tight-knit bunch you guys had last year.
Yeah, it was, and I think my assistant coaches helped with that too. We all had a big part in it last year. Kingery was definitely the head coach, but he let us do a lot in practice where some head coaches may not. So we were working with the boys anyway, where they weren't just hearing one voice in practice. They were hearing Coach Lindell's, mine, Coach McComas's. And I think that helped a lot, that they had already been used to us instructing, us leading, and it just kind of carried right on over.
All right, and as Nick Turner hit a rare three here for Belfry in this one, making the score 41-17. Down by 24 are the Pirates of Belfry with 2:25 left to go here in this first half. Chris Turner, put back no good, put back no good by Connor Chapman. So his monster size getting him some easy rebounds underneath the basket there. And Chris Turner with the impressive swat on Nick Turner on the other end on the transition D.
I just want to point out, if you notice how hard Belfry's still playing, even though they're down 41-17. They're very well coached. He stays on them, and they play just about as hard as anybody that you'll see play in this area.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, they're still fighting and crawling. I guess must be that football toughness coming back out in them. That's always good to have when you're down that big. It's almost a good test in a way. Once a year, you almost want to get down like that to see how your team responds in serious adversity. Hopefully, you guys will have to find out that tonight.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Tulsa's the one that's going to be on the ropes, right?
I hope so.
That's Connor Chapman, the young big man, getting some big minutes here in the second quarter. Under 2 minutes to go. 43-17, 26-point lead. The traveling violation on Belfry is number 3 right there. Sean Hurley lost his pivot foot and rolled that heel around a little bit after he had the pivot set on the tip of the toes. Can't do that, man. Here we go, Cameron Powell, point guard, pushing the ball down the floor. Gets to number 20, Tyler Hearn. Back over to number 24, Zach Fisher. Shot up no good. Rebound's going to go to number 30, Joey Duty of Belfry. They're going to push the ball down the floor, trying to split 3 defenders. Is number 12, Charles Brett. But he'll be fouled, and he'll go to the line to shoot 2. They're going to attack the foul to number 20, Tyler Hearn, his first. And again, at the line to shoot 2 will be Charles Brett. He's got a 3 for Belfry. Minute 20 to go, 26-point lead. And keep it at 26 as Belfry's even had a hard time at the free throw line here in this one, as they are, as of right now, they're 2 of 9 now from the free throw line. There we go, and just Winfield just gets more shots to fall as Zach Fisher gets that one to go. Nick Turner with the ball for Belfry. Getting over the corner to Josh Robinson. Another swinging it around, keeps swinging it around. Nice ball move there by Belfry, but the shot just won't go fall for Charles Brett. And now Winfield's going to push the ball again. Chris Turner, pull up. Tried to use the backboard, no good. Nice extra pass there. Still no good as the shot was up by Zach Fisher. It's going to be out of bounds. Stay with Winfield. 45-18, 27-point lead. So have you had any moments of regret as a head coach yet? Like you sit back, you went back, and you're like sitting there in your comfy recliner, and you're like, man, at practice, I really wish I wouldn't have done that.
Well, I did have one instance that I can think of where I didn't bring it. I was wore out. I was trying to get this shootout together, and we had practice 3 days ago. And I didn't have any intensity at practice. The next thing I know, it starts leaking over into the assistant coaches. Before I know it, the kids, they're not going hard anymore. And when I got home, I told myself, I've got to bring it every day. That's the only way that they're going to, and you've got to lead by example. So that's probably the biggest thing, is that sometimes when you get wore out as a head coach, you got to still find that energy to pick it up a notch.
Well, it's good that you're picking up on stuff like that. one's best own critic is one's own self, I always like to say. So, you know, if you're hating on yourself more than anybody else, you probably have the most to learn or gain from that, I guess. I don't know. That didn't sound right, but I think we know where we're going with that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So how has the community accepted you as the new head coach here? I know Scott, you know, sometimes they call it Madville around here. You know, how's been the reception for you?
So far, it's been wonderful. I can't say anything but good things about the community. They've been very supportive. I don't know how many people came up to me last night and just congratulate me on the first win, and you know, saying that hopefully many more to come, and they're behind me and they support me. And I think a big part of it too is your parents, your relationship with the parents. We have absolutely wonderful parents here at Scott. They go, they don't ask questions. You know, they're just very, very supportive of their kids and the program and myself. And I really got to thank them a lot, because I think they had a big part in maybe me getting the job or helping me get it. They were supportive to me. There's just really good support here in Madison right now. I think as long as you keep winning, you know, you've always got that support.
That's normally how it works.
Yeah,
right?
that's right.
Well, Kingery definitely got the ball rolling for you with starting a legacy down here, and he really left you with a good group of boys to develop. And, you know, you got some good young guys that you get to develop over the next couple of years, too. So hopefully everything keeps falling in place for you. And at the score at the half here, it's still all Belfry, 47-19, a 28-point halftime lead for the Generals over the Pirates, who've had limited time to practice with the football championship down there. Congratulations again to Belfry for that. And again, thank you again, Coach Cabell, for taking the time here to talk with us. Best luck to you against Tulsa, and we'll get John with you in a pregame interview.
Job, and I just want to say I appreciate it.
We appreciate that, but we appreciate this awesome seat you gave us here today. This is awesome.
I tried to hook you up.
Oh, we love it. Courtside, and now you spoiled it. We ain't getting nothing else from here on out, just to let you know.
I hear you.
But best luck to you again, Coach, and we'll talk to you here later tonight.
Okay, thank you, Tony.
Thank you.